All right. That'll work. Making a little resin mold of these little guys here. So what I'm trying to build is some musky spinner baits, but I need to have, well, I want to have these little minnow spinners that'll kind of spin around. So right now I'm going to cast a couple of baits in a mold. What I want is this thing to stay exactly right there. That's not going to work. So I may as well cancel that little idea. Just throw that over there for now. I'll show you what this is. It's a little box. I got my little molded minnow. We're going to cast it in silicone. And hopefully I get a positive result. Who knows? I drilled a hole through these baits to begin with, just so that I have a channel through the, I don't know what I'm going to call these, blades, I guess. I'm going to call these blades, and it'll give somewhere for the resin to not go. Yes, that's what I'm doing. I had a little seized up brain fart there. Now, I didn't leave a lot of space in this mold for other things. So what I'm going to try and find is something to take a little bit of space down the side. That way it saves on silicone, but I don't know what to use. Don't know what to use. Well, Interesting. I'm thinking out loud. No, that's way too big. Oh. How about this? You get a screwdriver in the corner. It doesn't leave much for the actual mold body, but I think I'll do it anyways. Let's go find something smaller. No, that's hollow. That ain't gonna work. I know what to do. Use a couple of these blanks. How's that look? Well, that's way too big too. This guy's a little smaller. This is probably gonna fail. Oh, here's a little screwdriver. That's a little better. Clean that off. Yeah, that'll work. Just got to tape it into the corner here. Well, why don't I take these out as I'm doing this? That should work. By adding this little screwdriver in the corner, that's that much less silicone I have to use. So, not that the silicone's crazy expensive, but I have extra space inside this cavity that I'm not going to need. All right, I'll tape that wire in place. And nothing moves. Try that. I kind of did this before. I made some Ninja Turtle lures for a guy. Heather Little. Hey, how's it going? How are you doing on a Sunday morning, bright and early? Now, I don't know how much of this silicone to mix. It says to do it by volume. So, I don't know. It's just, it's called Start So World Silicone Rubber. So this is to build the mold. I'm good. Woke up at 4. Yeah. Ever since I turned into an old man, I'm up at 4 as well. So sit there, guzzle coffee all morning. Still, like, body's awake, brain still fogged. However, got to get this going. Maybe the brain ain't going yet.
Explore any road with an extra set of eyes. The all-new fully redesigned 2025.
There, that's should be hillbilly enough to work. Move that back a little bit. I'm gonna mix extra. I've done this before where I didn't mix enough, and then you got to add more and add more and add more. Yeah, turn it half a turn. So part A, I think I'll do. I'm gonna do 100 mils of each. Oh, I need a cup big enough to mix them both. Oh, I got a silicone thing up here I can use. This should work. I'll mix it in this thing. So this is, I got magic resin down there somewhere. So I'm going to use this as the mixing bowl, I guess. There's a squeezy one, so yeah, this should work pretty good. Should work pretty good. Let's open this sucker up. Oh. 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 So this is going to be, this is going to be for some blades on a spinner bait. Not the blades, but little spacers. Oh, what a sloppy mess that is. Okay, we're going to aim for, I think 80 mils would do it. Oh, well, that stupid thing. Perfect spot for that to flip, right? Right in the little jug. Everything I do seems to be a learning experience. Just a little bit less than the 80. Oh, get this shit all over my fingers again. Part A. Put that back there because I tend to make a mess when I do stuff. Part A. Now I put these screwdrivers right in my way. Stick those up there. Part B. I'm going to take this thing off before I start. Or that'll go in a little cup too. Now I'm going to see if that sits on there. Oh, look at me. Look at me, so smart. Ooh, this is a little chunkier. I got to get down here so I can see the line. Blind old man. Good enough. That's 80 mils of part A, 80 mils of part B. Now, get rid of that. Cheers. So this is the second silicone mold I've made. Hopefully it goes a little better than the first one. The first one was quite a shit show. I don't know how to clean those out. Probably alcohol or something. It's a little early in the morning for me to clean me out with alcohol, but I'm not left. I'm not left. I'm not left-handed. There's no real instructions on the jug I bought. It just kind of says mix by volume, and then takes 6 hours to cure. So that's it. No, how long do you mix it? How anything? Just after you do mix it, I assume. Let it sit for 6 hours. All right. I'm to mix. Mixy. I'll show you the whole mixing procedure. This forever. I'm gonna make sure I get down the edges in the corners. Says it doesn't make bubbles, but it lied. There's bubbles. Probably because I'm mixing a little too aggressively. Let's sit for a minute. Oh, bubbles are popping. We're good. We are good. Bubbles are popping. So I'll probably let it sit for 5 minutes before I dump it in there. Make sure whatever bubbles I'm making right now do get popped. Wait, I'll do pinky out. Haha. How dainty. A little bit of dirt in there. So we're gonna unveil this tonight. I'll probably go live again this evening. That should be cured by tonight to the point where I can actually maybe pour a couple. I got the magic resin. So we're gonna be pouring these these little minnow baits, which is essentially going to be this on a micro scale, and with a, not this exact one, but similar idea. I drilled a hole through it so that when it goes into a spinner bait, it will spin around, and there'll be beads and all kinds of nice flashy stuff on there. Well, that's the goal. Who knows what it's really going to look like. I've never built a musky spinner bait before. I've had people ask me for it, so here we are. So, as I said, there's no directions on how long I should be mixing this, but something tells me to mix it longer than you think. It takes 6 hours to cure. No sense cheaping out a few minutes on the mixing. Let that sit for a second, give my fingers a break. Have a caffeine injection. So that's the caffeine. This here should be just about pourable. What's this thing in here? Little chunk of dirt. I wanted to get into the whole situation we got going here. All right, that's all the mixing I'm going to do. I'll lay that there. Now, just watching some of the bubbles. This is exciting. It's probably more exciting for me watching the bubbles pop than you guys. Maybe I'll give you a gander. Now that's excitement right there. Exciting. That had better stay exactly where I need it. I'm going to grab, what am I going to grab? I need something. Something tells me that's going to take off if I dump silicone in there. Oh, here we go. Nervous. I ruined, usually part one is ruined. Like,
I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want. I like to add an action items field so AI can show me the next steps. I have my teammates as watchers, so they're in the loop. Look how things work easy for personal projects.
yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen.
Click the link below to create your workspace for free.
Guess what I did? I didn't mix enough.
If you're searching for intelligent design and integrated tech, if you're searching for the best view from the
Of course I didn't mix enough.
all-new Motor Design.
So it's 80 and 80.
Trust the real search engine.
If I go another 40 and 40, you get over here, buddy. I better get my That's in gear. Ooh. I don't know which jug was A and which jug was B. Scramble time. Oh, these stupid things. These little corks or whatever they are. Oh, I guess that's where they put that. Oh, I did that last time too. I should just throw shit on the floor because that's where it all goes anyways. All right, 40. Now you can't see nothing. Where's 40? Oh, right there. $40. $40 of those. Why are you going sideways, man? Get over here where you belong. Yeah, I can do that later. I just had an idea, but I'm not sharing it. Another 40 mils. What's everybody's plans today on a Sunday morning? Don't be shy. Talking a bunch. Eh? So this, because of my miscalculation, hopefully can blend enough with that other stuff and doesn't make two molds that split apart. That would suck. And we'd have to see how much redneck ingenuity we could put together to have a 4-part mold, because 2-part molds aren't challenging enough. Oh, malfunction. Eric, how's it going? This is stupid. I want to say thanks to everybody for popping in and watching this, whatever you're going to call this, or whatever I'm going to call this. This is Mold Making 101 with Dave, who knows how to mold things. I've molded kayaks a few thousand times, but this year, yet to be seen how well this works out. Now, I've got to get down on the bottom there to make sure it's all off the edges. Trying to stir it without adding all them bubbles. No bubbles. Get out. Shout the bubbles out. Shout, shout, shout them all out.
Was it cold?
Cool coffee. Cold coffee. Here, I'm just outside of North Bay, Ontario, and it is Sunday morning. And old Mother Nature on the weekends likes to give us skies like that. Wind, rain, and that sort of stuff. So no fishing for Dave today, apparently, because it's colder than a well digger's arse out there. I'm going to add lots of bubbles, but I think they kind of pop on their own. Don't see too many. A few small ones in there, but imperfections aren't going to be that important here. So as I said, I work at a place where we mold kayaks. So when I made these little, well, they're actually called a plug for your mold. When I made those, we have something called mold release at work. Funny thing, it splashed inside there and coated everything for me, so I didn't have to mold release anything. It was kind of, Bob Ross would say, a happy little accident. All right. Oh, you little touring prick. Get over there. We're going to have to make sure he stays still. And him too, because that guy's wiggling around too. Now that was the perfect amount. So I'm going to write that number on the side of this little box. 120 mils.
From idea to submission, empower students to do their best work through Gravily's comprehensive AI writing assistance. What if they can jumpstart ideas for any assignment?
Now this little box I made, I hope it doesn't leak. I don't see anything pouring out of it yet. That would be a convenient mess. Well, that didn't work. Put that back there. Oh, tabernouche. I got a mess down here. I got it. My garbage can runneth over. Oh yeah, I want to get these guys to stay still.
AI writing assistance designed for students. Download Grammarly for free today.
Now, hopefully that all stays still. Pretty sick today.
My work is easy.
I have no idea how to even clean these things out. No idea which part I put in there. I'm just going to let it sit. This one here, the silicone should just peel right out. Should. Famous last words. Should. Hell of a big mess if it doesn't. And there are bubbles in there. Oh, they're popping. Kind of coming up to the top. Popping. Oh, I should show you guys what I did.
Personal projects to running a multi-billion-dollar company. Click the link below to create your workspace.
So that's the mold. Casting right now. So I'm doing 2 at once. If this works, I'll do another box and make another 2 at once. That way, sorry, got distracted. Squirrel. That way I can do 4 at a time. So when I'm casting my resin, it's not going to take very much resin to make these. I hope. I should move this and get into doing something else. Because I have to paint up some of these guys today. Because I sold a whole mess of them yesterday. What a problem to have. Whole mess of them. Or I could do some wood baits. I'm not sure what I should do today. I'm gonna get this coffee cup the heck out of the way. But I have to find a place to put this where I'm not gonna knock it over. Not putting it there. Hands of a surgeon. Don't cough, don't sneeze, don't wiggle, don't do nothing. Where am I gonna put this? Where do I go? Right here. I'm bound to hit it right there. Then it'll leak all over the top of the refrigerator, and my darling wife will have my hide when she comes home. That'd be perfect. I'm going to let that dry over there. So the silicone, 2-part silicone, is Startso World. But I'm done with it right now. I'm going to get these little containers out of the way. I'm starting to learn. In my old age, I am learning, clean up your mess as you go. It won't stay that hey, some stainless wires up there speared me in the head. Okay. Do I have any lead kicking around? Don't have much lead. A little bit. We're gonna get in melting some lead here. I gotta shape these suckers down first. How about I explain what we were doing first on that other mold? Okay, this isn't the one I made, but what I did was I took a blank like this, cut the bill off, pulled all these little hook hangers off it, sealed them up, drilled a 3/32 hole through it, and I got this 050 stainless wire that I twisted all up to twisting job for a guy that's never done it before. Not too bad, eh? And then this goes through there, and you put some beads, a couple of big number 7 clevises, or number 6 clevis, number 7 blades, some flashy-boo, nice word, eh? Probably a 5/0 treble hook down here, and then the idea is this thing's going to spin around on the wire. I'm hoping. I do a lot of hoping in this basement. Spin around in circles and look cool. I would love for it to look cool. However, I got some apprehension about that. So that's what that first bit was. But what I'm doing next is going to be a couple of wooden baits, because I have this morning. I don't want to turn the compressor on because the young lady upstairs is sleeping, and she'll come downstairs with a hell of a mighty attitude for me this morning. What did you do that for? I don't know what I made this out of. It's hard, whatever it is. Oh well, it'll work. I find the best way to do my sanding, gotta remember Mike's over here. Do the sanding is I put the sandpaper up against my palm, and then I just run the bait into the palm. That way the sandpaper has a backing, and you're not just riding the sandpaper across the bait. And then the different parts of your hand have different bumps and lumps and stuff. So when you're getting rid of sharp edges, you can put it into the meatier part so it doesn't kind of hurt. And if you're doing some soft sanding, you can just go to like a flatter part of your palm. I find that works really well. That way when you're getting rid of your sharper edges, they go away a little quicker, which is nice. So my old mitts there, they got certain spots are tougher than others. Some of them are dainty in others. This is pretty aggressive sandpaper, so it won't take long. Instead of dropping the sawdust on the floor, I'll put it on the table. That way it has somewhere to go in the garbage dump below. So we're going to do a question. What do you guys prefer? Just a cheap plastic blank or handcrafted wooden lures? Today's world, a lot of stuff is the quick, easy plastic stuff. I think I'm going to go with a different type of resin than what I bought. I bought that magic resin. It takes a while to cure. I find it's almost a day to cure. But I had some other stuff. I can't remember where I got it. I think I got it on Amazon. And it would, sorry, dust. It would cure in probably 5 minutes. So I think I'll order some of that this afternoon and save the magic resin because it's nice clear stuff. We make a little bit of fishing style jewelry And it's really nice for the pendants. You put a fishing fly in the middle of it. We'll have to do maybe a live of us making some jewelry if I can get my daughter to actually participate. So, 15-year-old girls, how excited they are to participate and stuff. They don't mind taking some of the profits and proceeds from the whole bait game, but they do not enjoy the labor-intensive stuff. I got a little bit of a thing there on the back of the tail. Oop. I'm losing skin off my knuckles. I can feel that happening. So pretty much got a little bit of a spot there, I can tell. This side is a little bit flat there yet. So once I get rid of those, then I can drill my holes for my lead. Make a couple of hook hangers. Got any up there? No, I don't got any up there. I make my hook hangers out of just a stainless steel wire for the small stuff, and I use this heavy stuff for the musky baits, like the large wood ones. It's a pretty tough twist though with the drill, so it's not quite as easy to pull off. So all I'm trying to do is soften the flat spots to make them a little more seamless. So there's no flat spot. It actually is more contoured as it hits. And also gets rid of some of the saw marks. This chunk of wood was hard as hell. I went through a period where I was cutting up little skids and stuff at work and just taking whatever wood there was. So some of these things I have no idea. Could be Brazilian nut wood or something. Okay, that's good for that one. Now, that thing's too big. I've got to put a cavity in the bottom of this with one of these mortar seam bits. Now this is where you got to watch you don't drill your hand. I'm going to put a little poke hole in the bottom there and give it somewhere to start. So it's easier to hit your mark if you start a little, just a pinhole. That looks center. Looks not center when I do that, but it looks center when I do this. Get my fingers back a little bit. Let's watch this. This is actually very hardwood. So that hole there, I'm gonna fire up the torch. Got my little crack spoon and melt some lead and dump her down in there. Maybe. Got some impurities there. Okay, I just have to grab a lighter. I don't have one here. Oh, I'll be back. Okay, we are back. Torch, lighter, dust in the eye. Come on. I got my little bit of some lead balls in there. Yeah, you can see them. We're gonna melt those up. Should be wearing a mask for this, FYI. But I didn't put one on. So. I'll just hold my breath. So this isn't what it looks like. I've seen a couple people just pop in. This isn't what it looks like. This is not, it is a crack spoon looking thing, but it's not crack in there. What is it? It's ready, whatever it is. Put that over there. We got melted lead. Now I got to get this. I'm wearing bare feet, so if I slop, this is going to be a memorable experience for everybody. So I got my lead in there. Hey, man. Now I got to wait for it to harden or I'm going to burn myself really good. Doesn't take long. I can just see it moving just a little bit and it stopped. And turn off that torch or that's going to be a insurance job for the house. Smoky Mountain Man. There. Lead in his belly. Got some lead in his belly. Now, I'm going to let that sit for a second. I got to make a hook hanger for the front. What do I need? Oh yeah, my wire. Remember I was bragging about making a little wire? Guess that's what we're doing. Hook hanger. Going to make hook hangers. I used to have a knife guy around here. There's kind of a knife. Oh, there's sort of part of a knife. I found a little blade. If you just popped in with little clips, you'd think I'm a crackhead, eh? Little razor blades and crack spoons and stuff. Oh, what's this crackhead doing? Never done crack. Say no to crack. Oh, that might be tape. Oh, I don't need a knife. Oh, I gotta have a little peek at my mold. Looks like it kind of stayed still. Oh, perfect. This is pretty small. 18 gauge. Probably should be using 16 gauge, but I'm not. So you get what you get, right? We're gonna see how it looks anyhow. So you cut your hook hanger about yay long. Stainless wire only, not galvanized, not plain steel. And you bend her over. Give it a little squish, but not too tight. You just want that little loop in there. Stick her in your drill. I got a hook up here on the wall. We'll see if we can get spun around to see how that works. I got something hanging on here. Better not have hooks in it. That's got a hook on it. That's just a... Well, it's gone. You turn your drill down to slow or low, or and then just slowly start twisting. Oh, she's starting to spin on me. I'll bring you back over here. Look at it. So what that does is it twists the wire and makes a little eyelet. I'm going to cut the ugly piece off the bottom. And a little bit of super glue. I usually get this all over my fingers before I'm... that lead's still not cold. Screw that in there. You know what I should have done? Should have made sure that hole was deep enough. Because it's not. Should be close. In there, just ram it up inside there. And you got your hook hanger. So you got your line tie. And after this is all wood filled and stuff and shined up real nice, I'll put some hook hangers in it somewheres. One there, one there, one somewhere, and then we'll take her for a swim. I'm not going to make hook hangers right now. We're going to get into the wood filler, and we're going to put a little crack there. I'm going to, whilst I'm super gluing, I'm going to put a little bit of that on there too. I'm going to stop there. Super glue actually seals wood really well. One of my silicone bottles doesn't have a cork in it, so I'll go find that in a minute too. Remedy that problem. Wood filler. I'm going to fill that, cover that lead up. And I'll just hang this up to dry. It's admiring my work. Yeah, super glue is not quite dry. I love super glue on my fingers. Gives me something to chew on in the afternoon. I make sure to scrape it down in between the lead and the wood so that the filler goes right in there. If not, you have little air pockets, and then you got to do this multiple times. A lot of times you do anyways, but you can take her down from 4 times to 2 times. So that ugly little wart, a little bit of water on your finger kind of flatten this down. And then you'll just let her dry. By smoothing it down, getting rid of that big wart that was on the top, means less sanding later. Now I got super glue and wood filler stuck to that finger. Cool. Wow. Now I'm just going to put this somewhere where I'll remember. I'll put it right there. I'll for sure forget that. I'm going to get these chipmunks off of here. I made a couple of chipmunk baits last night. Little chipmunk spinners. Little ploppers. I ruined one. I ruined this guy, so I got to wash all the paint off him. So what I do with my ruins is I throw them over there and usually forget about them. I want to hang these up because they're almost ready for clear coat, but I want to put just a few little pen marks on them there just to make the hairs look like hairs. I'm not going to use a pen. I'm going to use really fine paintbrush. Paint them on with a really fine paintbrush. So we got multiple baits happening today. We got the molds, that wood thing, and finishing off these little chipmunks. Put that guy right there. You can keep an eye on you guys. What I'll do, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't need pure white. So I'll put a little bit of white on that lid. Pure white's not exactly what I want. I want a little bit of gray. Which means when you're mixing small little batches like this, it doesn't take a whole lot of black to make it gray. So make a little gray. Turn the white into gray. I don't have to mix it perfectly because I don't mind having a couple different shades of gray. And then we're just going to put little small little ticks on there just so it looks like some hairs. There will be a few black ones in there as well, just for a little, diversity. And the hair on the arms runs the other way, so we'll get one or two on that. There. We'll put some black ones on there, but while we got the brush gray, we're going to just carry on. Ooh, that was a little thick. Oh, little gray marks. Kind of like what I got going through the goatee. A few gray marks. I'd have them on the top of my head if I had any hair up there, but don't. People have no problem reminding me I'm bald. So that's the 3. All sides, yep. Now clean that little brush. I'm going to use that for the black as well. I want to make sure all the water's off there as best I can. Gray, black ones to go with the gray. I'm going to be careful with the black, not to go too heavy. Just a couple of little spicks on there. And as with anything else, the black is always an overpowering color. So you want to make sure that you're going very light on the black. Just a little dab. Was a big one. A little too aggressive. A little too aggressive with the old brush. losing my voice. Ah. Oh, that was a big one. Big one. Oh well. There's a black mark on him. Rubbed up against the tire. Dodged a Mitsubishi or something. tire tracks down the side of them. Poor guy. I forgot the whiskers on this guy the other day. Luckily, it's just going to be the black. And I forgot, oh, just on the one side. And I forgot the noses. So we want little black noses on these guys. I feel like a monkey doing this. They're coming off. Let's get a little black nose. Oh, black nose. Don't put it on the sandpaper, stupid. Little black nose on this guy too. Black nose on this guy, and then we'll be switching on the compressor and we'll be firing into some of those believer blanks. Put that back in there. Grab him, and him, and go hang them up. All right, we're back. Now we got to clean up, make some space here. Some of those over there, some of those over here. Oh, put the lid back on the black. Back on black. Oh, that cork. I'm going to find the silicone that's missing. Betting it's part B. Ah, first try. Look how smart I am. I need compressor on too. Get that sucker fired up. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit closer to the show here. Get rid of that metallic. So we're gonna do a few of these up. I don't know which pattern yet. One thing I should do before I start is make sure all those line ties are straight. Sometimes on these bulk blanks, they get a little bit crooked. It doesn't take much to straighten them back up. Not so bad on the hook hangers for them to be a little crooked, but if your line ties are crooked, this thing's just going to go sideways. And then you get nasty little emails. The bait swims like shit. I'm throwing in the garbage. So I said, go ahead. I already paid for it. I don't do that. I usually give the money back. If you're not happy with the bait, let me know. I fix you up. I make it right. I got 4 I can do. Oh, here's a good example. Look at that one there. Crooked. Crooked as a dog's hind leg. So we're going to straighten that. A little chiropractic adjustment. Gotta be careful you don't crack the lure body doing that though. When I got these blanks in, some of them were pounded right flat. So I painted those ones up, put them in my tackle box. So I got a few in my box that are swim sideways. We'll do 4. May as well do 4 because I only have 4 helping hands. That's one of my favorite baits. It's probably my top selling one as well. You can get the 6-inch. Can't get the 8-inch or the jointed 8-inch or 10-inch. So all I can find is those suckers. So that's what we're doing. Now, what usually happens is the needle sticks in this thing. Yep. Sticks real good. Make sure the needle moves. Sometimes there'll be a little chunk of stuff stuck on the end. Oh, why did I pull it all the way out just so that show that? And plug her in. Now, if you hear in the back, there's my compressor over there. And if it scares you, that's fine. It scares me too. I'm tangled up in the chainsaw. Before I get started, we're going to put just a little squirt of water in there. Make sure that the paint is flowing out the tip. If water flows, so will the paint. I put this little protector back on the end because all you have to do is that once, and if that wire's sticking out, it hurts more than it needs to. Okay, so we're starting with a plain blank and all this nice clean workspace. First step, step numero uno, primer. So I found this stuff here. It's folk art primer. It actually, I really like it because it comes out as a bit of a chalky color and the chalky texture. I find the paint sticks to it really nice. As long as you don't thin it too much, it works awesome. So we have to, it is thick, as thicker than gorilla snot. So what we got to do is thin her out. Oh, that was a chunk. So when you get a chunk, that means you're going to have some plugged up airbrush stuff. It doesn't matter how much you thin it. Throw a little bit of water in there. Oh, I hear the kid is awake upstairs, so I shouldn't catch a blast. Why are you doing that in the morning so early, Dad? Early. It's not early.
It's not just a grammar tool.
So now you got to mix this, get her thinned out to the point where it kind of flows back down the cup, about the same consistency of milk. I prefer chocolate milk, but I guess you get the drift. How many mixes do you think that paintbrush has seen? A little thick yet. So if it's too thick, it won't come out of the airbrush. If it's too thin, then it splatters around on the bait. So you gotta get it just right. Doesn't take long to figure it out to learn that lesson. Usually doing it wrong a half a dozen times helps. Learn your lesson. I'm going to get some of this back out of the way a little bit more. I tend to crowd myself a little bit if you're not picking that up. No, just I use some of the cheapest paints you can find. So if you're looking to get into playing with the airbrush and stuff, I don't find any real difference from cheap paint to expensive paint, but I'm not that good of a painter either. So maybe if you're a good painter, you'll know the difference. However, I don't. Well, I do a little bit, but primed. Now we'll hit these other three. Why is that so crooked? Get that under there, down the back. Now you want to make sure that you start your airbrush off your piece and then come onto it. If not, you get little specks of paint. Or sometimes if there's water on the tip of your needle, it splashes on the edge of your bait. And then you have like a big water slide mark. Oh, my crack spoon. Anybody that just popped in that heard me, oh, my crack spoon. I was melting lead earlier and it looks like I got a crack spoon, but I'm not as big a crackhead as I pretend to be. Ah, it didn't scare me this time. In case that spoon's still hot, I'm gonna pick it up because I am in my bare feet. I'm gonna put it on that side. Thanks for hanging out this morning, guys. I really do appreciate it. It makes my time down here in solitary confinement a little more interesting when I'm talking to you guys, because if I'm talking to you guys, I'm not talking to myself, and I don't need to contact my therapist. If it was just me talking to me, that would be cause for concern, but because I'm talking to my imaginary friends out there, it's not nearly as bad. So thanks. That's good. It doesn't have to be perfect for the primer, as long as you get white all over it, for the most part. Oh, there was a big water splotch right there. Can you see it? I can see it. Right there. That's a big water splotch. If that was paint, I'd been pissed. But not paint, just primer. I'm out of bullets. I seen a chunk go in there. That's not good. Well, that's it for primer. Well, maybe one of those. Everything else has gone nice and chalky the way I like to see it after primed. I don't know why. It's just, this is the best primer I've found so far. I've been told about other stuff, but this works for me actually pretty good, and I bought a fairly significant jug of it. I don't know if you can see the chalky texture, but when it dries, it almost looks like a stick of chalk, which is awesome. But I do have to go clean this airbrush. I'll be gone maybe 5-10 seconds. See, that wasn't long. That was pretty quick. Not bad for an old fart. But I just noticed I almost kicked this thing over. Better give myself a little more breathing room. Chunk of sharp on there. That thing, that's sharp as hell. Clear coat. We're going to do either Perch or Fire Tiger. What to do? Perch. I need, we're going to do that there pearl white on the ball, on the bellies. On the bellies. Hopefully a pike says, "Get in my belly," to these baits. And he shot them old boys down. Get that thinned out. Where's my... Oh, where's my little blue mixing guy? Oh, right there. Got scared for a second. I have a pretty personal attachment to this brush because I have this big smorgasbord of brushes. I only use 2, 3. But this one a lot. This poor old guy. Look at that. I'm trying to paint something pretty with that. Can't do it. So it's just a little mixy brush. I like that. That's mixed just beauty. Get that. You want to make sure the air and the water get off the tip of that needle, or the first thing that comes out is going to go, it's going to look like a mess. So this is pearl white. You guys can't see it likely, but it gives it a nice pearl texture. Nice pearl look. Oh, lamp pearl. Oh, you can see the pearlization. Makes it shiny white. What's going on over here? A malfunction with the DJ booth. Yes, continue watching. I don't want to watch the ad, so you're gonna look at my armpit for 2 seconds. There. Sorry, guys. I would have shaved had I known. I love doing the natural colored baits because if you don't get it perfect, nature's not perfect. Minnows have wounds, scars, scabs, warts, pimples. There is some metallic in the paint, and with this needle size, it kind of doesn't come out super nice, but I don't want to change the needle for the little bit of pearl painting I'm doing. You can't tell when it splatters off the pearl once you get it firing well. There, that's all I want. A little bit of pearl on the belly. So that's pearl belly. And we're gonna go with neon yellow after that. I should have a bucket of water so I can just right here. But I don't, because I didn't think ahead. Never thought I'd get this far. But because I got a few people watching, I figured, hey, why turn it off? Let's keep her going. Let's keep this party going. All right. I do have a couple of these. I'm going to run off, clean the brush. I'm going to bring a bucket of water back, though, so I don't have to run away as much. So don't go nowhere. This shouldn't take long. I got about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know you can hear me because I got the mic on. Good. I'm on my way back. Just had to get a little bucket of water. That way I save myself some trips. Stab myself in the back. How did I do this? Tangled up the chainsaw again. Okay. So perch. We're going to go with, I'm going to go with a gold. What's in here? A little bit of gold. I know this was a little thick last time I used it. So this is ready to shoot airbrush paint, but I find it's just a little bit thick. So we're going to throw 8.5 drops of water in there. I have no idea how much paint's still in there. All right. That's not too bad. Might be a touch thick. Nope, working good. Gold on the up and down the ribs. So we're going to do the simple perch pattern. I like a gold base. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't, but if you have a spot where things are going to shine through a little bit, I like the gold under there. For all them gold digging pike. This is a pretty good pike bait, actually. I do get a few comments about my pike pattern. It's probably my top top requested bait is the perch. I do like it myself. There we go. There's all that. Now, that was a right. Look at that. That was perfect. There, that was nice. Okay, because this one's not pre-mixed. This is just, look how cheap I am. $3. Neon fluorescent yellow. Scorching yellow. I'm going to burn them pikes up. The neons under the black light, they really glow. I didn't realize it until I tried the UV clear coat on something I was painting with the neons, and I was like, wow. I don't know whether fish see in UV, but holy shit. Hello again, here from Indiana. Hey, Tim. Thanks for showing up. Because you just showed up, Tim, late to the party. I did all kinds of goofy stuff this morning. Got a wood bait going. Got some. I'm making molds. Ha! And then because we got those done, we're doing some simple believer blanks, little 6-inch believers, and perch pattern. Perch. I had my bait. I had a tackle swap yesterday, and I realized I have almost no believers left. So, these are the believers. It's time to get some done. I don't want to do that one. That one's wet. They're all wet. Gotta dry them. You can talk about a wasted effort, eh? There's the one that was really wet. That's perfect. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Tim. You're awesome. Now, I think I got a pretty broad. This is the best, one of the best test templates I got to make sure it's firing good. Working good. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have too wide of a spray pattern because I don't want a lot. Just a little bit of a yellow over top of the gold. Not to cover it all, just kind of down the center. I'll get that question answered in 2 seconds. So you don't have to listen to that and me. I guess you're now, anyhow. How did the bait swap go? So the bait swap yesterday went pretty good. Actually, I bumped into a guy that has a really substantial business called Weed Beds. Their stuff is pretty interesting. They make everything from spinners, like from trout spinners to muskie spinners, which is kind of where I was going on my own anyhow. She does all the painting. He does all the talking. Sold a few baits. Made more than enough to justify my day, which is awesome. Got to bump elbows with some of the right people. The North Bay Fishing Club members came out. I was a little nervous because of the location we were at, but it actually panned out pretty good. It was a good day all in all. Kind of got me motivated to be in the basement here this morning, doing my thing, doing this thing. And I made a connection last night, actually, after the event, for where we're going to do the next tackle swap, which is a much better location. I'm going to save it for a surprise. So as we go along, anybody really wants to know the answer, you're gonna have to come back. Oh, look at me, eh? Oh, what a mystery. Wannabe Cuin. I like the name. I like it a lot. Like, if you had a name like Cuin, that would be really entertaining. If you want to be Cuin, unless you mean barbecuing. I think we both know the answer to that one. Okay, I don't need to wash that. We're gonna go with grass green. My favorite color, green. Sometimes I'll do like a fluorescent green on it. I think I'm going to leave it this time. A little bit of that. A little bit of one of those. So this here is a nice green. I really like it. And I have it mixed perfectly. I don't know what I'm doing today. Everything I'm touching is just like wicked working. Now that I said that, watch this go off the rails. Turn this down a little bit. That's a little better. So now I just want to hit the top part and get some kind of shadows for where my black lines are going to be. So I always start up on the back. That way I get my wider stripes. And on the top, so that my lines match up, I make sure to hit there so that when I come over to this side, my stripes are in. Oh, I guess I did this first. Put that guy there. All right, two more. This thing's got me in a Chinese thumb lock. stripes. Then we're doing the black stripes after this, and then we got 4 of these done. Except clear coat, of course. But and that will be my morning painting. We'll come back this afternoon sometime. That's it for the grass green. What I'll do, clean the airbrush, get that tidied up. Got to clean. Oh, and I don't need to clean a cup. I'm just gonna get this dumped back in the container. We'll dry those off a little bit. I'll clean this all up after because we're almost to the point where we're going to stop for this morning. A little bit of black. I like this black. It's an onyx black. See, I don't use that expensive stuff. You don't need expensive stuff for any of this. I have an Iwata Eclipse here somewhere in this mess. I have no idea where I put it. I'm using this here. It's a Timber Tech. It's like $40. I paint most of my baits with a cheap airbrush. If I'm doing more fine work, I go with the Iwata Eclipse, but I guess I don't do much fine work if I can't find it. I'll have to clean this dump up. A little bit more. For me, the difference from a good paint to a bad paint is basically how it comes out of the bottle originally. If it comes out clumpy, every time you use that paint, it's going to be clumpy. If it comes out thick but smooth, you're going to have very few issues thinning that out, and it's going to run smooth almost every time. If it comes out thick, I find it plugs up the needle, like where the fluid tip hits the needle of the airbrush. With the chunky stuff, it just kind of goes and is not good. I did see a chunk go in there though. Shows how much I know. I said I was going to dry them, which I might not have to. This guy's not bad. I'll give him a blast with the hair dryer. I did this before. Have to do that when your hair gets in your eyes. See the wet paint on that stuff over there for sure, for sure. One thing I learned with shooting dark colors over top of your light work, move your other pieces out of the way, or all your overspray goes makes them real nice. So make sure to get around your eye. Perch. A bit around the eyeball. So I have the stripes. I'm going to come back and hit that again after. I want to get the little gill plate. I have a technique I use for that. But I want to make sure it's dry. And I also have to do the backs as well. Again, around the eye. Get that real nice. If you're doing stuff like this and all of a sudden you're having just a terrible time, like nothing's working, what I do is I just stop. Doesn't mean you're terrible at it. Some days you're better at things than others. So what I do if things aren't firing quite right, nothing's working, is I stop, take that day, write it off. If everything's going wrong, you're not having fun doing it. So anytime things aren't going super smooth, or if they go off the rails as you're going, I make sure to cut it out. You shouldn't be doing this stuff to make yourself mad, which I do plenty. Green screen. I hope not. Maybe. I don't know what that means, but cool. If you think I'm using a green screen, this is the world's ugliest looking green screen you're ever going to see. Number one, I'm not smart enough to do it. Number two, why would I? Sorry. Nathaniel Jackson. Hi there, Nate Jackson, or Nathaniel, whatever you prefer. I think Nate Jackson sounds pretty badass. So. Who's that guy? That's Nate Jackson. Man not to be messed with. I got a malfunction right at the end. That chunk that flew into the airbrush a while ago, I found it. Oh, DJ keeps quitting there. Oh, what did I do there? That was scary. Very scary. The bait, that bait is looking pretty sweet. Hey, thanks, man. Actually, some days they look better than others. We'll see what's going on. Appreciate it though. It's nice when they actually come out looking good, because they don't always. I better check this before I go. Yeah, I would have ruined it. That would have been not looking so sweet. There we go. Okay, that's both sides. Now I do have these little things here. This little thing, I don't even know what side of. It works really, really good for the gill. So what I do, you just take that, place it right over the gill. And all that's doing is giving it this nice little shadow right at the gill.
like cold. They once rolled on. They don't come. No
Gills. Got a wobbly spot there. Either that or I'm having a low blood sugar. Some baits that I do, I find the best stencil is the thumb. Just like on the big wood stuff where each one is different. Oh, almost did that backwards. So, gills. 2 more, and then we're going to darken up the back. I don't know whether we're going to flick some. Sometimes I'll flick with a brush, just like flick black paint on it, because sometimes perch have little black specks on them. Sometimes I do it. I don't think I'm going to do it on these ones. They're turning out pretty decent. I'm going to let everything dry really good. Then I'm going to come back and I'll do the fins after. I gotta make a stencil, and watching me cut stencils is pretty exciting. So I won't make you do that. I'll come back on probably this evening and finish these up. That way I can have them turning overnight. Gills. Last one, then we're gonna shoot the backs black. I might be able to find a gill here yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I am shaky as hell though. I usually forget one, so this was almost it. All right, so the gills are all done. Now, open that back up. Make sure we got some pretty good coverage. Then the backs. I just want to hit all the backs. So now we have the back done. I have another trick I do with my perch pattern, but I can't do it until the paint is 100% dry. This is my favorite bait. I don't know about anybody else that buys my stuff, but that's my favorite. Again, guys, thanks for hanging out this morning. I really do appreciate it. We're trying to get the old watch hours up on YouTube, so I do a lot of canoe video stuff, but I'm running out of things to do there, so I kind of got like, let's dance in a different avenue. Well, this isn't different. I've been doing this for years too, but this is my hobby. So. Beauty! Look at that! Perch! But the black is the #1 thing to get out of that brush, though, because whatever color you go to shoot next really gets eaten up by the black. After I'm done cleaning it, and I got what I think the last of the black coming out, I just put some clean water in, let that go, cover your fluid tip, and it'll bubble backwards. So any paint that's stuck inside the fluid tip kind of gets pushed back, and usually mixes with the water, and you just fire it till it's gone. Because black is a pretty powerful color, and it'll take over the whole party if you're not careful. I'm going to run while that's groaning and moaning over there, the compressor. I'm going to wash these two out because I need orange. Just orange. There. Pretty quick with that stuff. Okay, orange. What orange are we going with? I'm gonna do a neon orange. Usually I don't do very good with this particular orange. However, see you later, Tim. Thanks for hanging out for a while. Appreciate it. You're a rock star, you're a gentleman, and a scholar. There's a few of us left.
From personal projects to running a multi-billion-dollar company. Create your workspace for free.
Okay, here's another free tip. Before you start goofing around with them a little bit more, you're going to want to make sure that paint is 100% dry. Dry. And I'm looking for a fin. I might have to make one. Oh, I got stuff here. We'll make one. That'll give a few more minutes for that paint to dry without forcing it. So we're going to draw. I'm going to draw a little fin right here.
Heard from the former CIO of Wharton Business School.
And come back down.
It's not just a grammar tool. It's a responsible AI writing assistant for the new era of education.
That's not too bad. I got to find a blade that I couldn't find earlier. I have knives around here somewhere, but I can't find it right now. So we're going to use this little guy just on the finger, I guess. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I should flip it over first. So now that I have that there, I'm going to double it over. Double it over, so I got 2 sides of tape. And no sticky stuff, because that will stick to your work and make you angry. And there's no sense doing this if you're getting angry. So everything that's sticky, see what I mean, sticky? Just put it over there for now. Now, I have to push a little bit harder to get through both layers of tape, but it is easier when it's actually on the pen holder. This won't take much longer. We're on the last corner. Don't feel alive till it's night. It hurt my finger. Anyways, you probably don't give a shit about that. Kind of looks more like a boomerang. I need my knife back. I want to open this up at the top a little bit more. Like a gal by me, I know. She's the wife I like. That's a little bit better. So now, may not look better, but it feels better. Okay, orange. We're going back to orange. I'll do a little extra because I'm going to put some orange highlights on the bottom of them as well. There's a few spots where the orange looks nice. I try and hit them on the tail and the lips or tongue or whatever you want to call the front of it. No matter how many times you do that, there always seems to be a little drop of water in there. Now I turn that way up, so I mean I have to turn it way back down. This is a receipt from the hardware store. My tax guy is going to love that one. There's paint on this side, math on this side. Tax season just ended, so there's no way I'll remember where that is come tax time next year. I'm going to do something else here so that everything's in the same spot. I'm going to stick this on the bait where I want it, and I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to trace that gill. All right, mark that little spot for the gill. I'm going to cut that off with the scissors. Now when I put it up against the gill, it should be on both sides, should match. Sometimes you get a beautiful gill here and then you flip it over. When you have your gill on the other side, it's there or that's, yeah. Sometimes disheartening. What am I doing here? I'm going to flip this over. Got to make sure your helping hand is on the right angle. If not, it tips over when you put a little bit of pressure on it. There we go. Where are you? I need the hair dryer. I forgot about this orange. Is it does move around after you shoot it. Just about barbecued the old things. So that's the first little bit. I make sure to always hit the same side first, because now you got to dry that off every time. So we don't want to do that. Well, he's freaking out on the tongue there. Must have caught his gal in bed with somebody. I'm screaming about the devil. I've never heard this song before. Just a YouTube playlist. Hopefully they don't give me a content strike, because sometimes they do that. You're using other people's property. I can listen to music while I'm doing my own shit, man. Relax, get off my case. Actually, that sounds a little bit like Corb Lund. There we go. Another gill. Or fin. We're not doing gills. We already did those. Now, I want this. Point that back. That way it balances a little better. Makes it a little cuter for when you're twisting stuff around. Sometimes if the paint doesn't seem to be drying quite quick enough, it usually means you're a little bit thin on your mixture. Oh, got the butterfingers. If you're a little bit thin on your mixture, it'll move a little bit. You just got to be careful if you're a touch thin. I don't like remixing and mixing and remixing, so I don't. Just go a little bit lighter, heat set. Give it another squirt. And the second one, typically you don't have to go as thick. Look, a little fingerprint on that. I'll have to touch it up, because I am going to be going over this with black again, so I'm not too concerned. That's a little bit high. A little bit of heat, better. Makes the paint dry like wicked fast. If not, you got to sit here for 5 minutes or whatever to let that dry. Man, buddy's really freaking out over there. Flip that over. Spin her this way. I always find it easier to do one side than the other. And I did the easy side. So this is gonna be a bit more of a challenge. So flip them all, get them all ready. And hopefully we can get these polished up. Be nice if that rain outside would cut it out. You'd think one of these weekends is going to have to give us some sunshine. James Ball. Yeah, James Ball. Hey, James. Thanks for showing up. Just doing a little bit of painting here. So when you're switching sides, big hot tip, dry this off. Dry this off. Or you're going to have a big orange thumbprint around your bait. Now, same idea, hitting this side.
How are your students to be more authentic?
And by cutting that piece out, what it did was give me a reference point for when I'm coming to this side. Now that one I don't have to heat set because it looks pretty decent.
Check for plagiarism and AI-generated text. Get real-time feedback.
Like if your mixtures are perfect, you don't have to do quite as much cleaning up and heat setting, things like that. And that one worked out pretty good too. Maybe the orange was dried just a little bit, which is awesome.
My work is easy because I use silicone. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority.
Again, guys, thank you very much for hanging out on a Sunday morning with me.
Custom statuses to organize my progress exactly.
I was going to be here anyways. I have to be here. You guys didn't, so I super duper appreciate it. Awful kind of you out there in YouTube land. I had a fishing sale yesterday, and I realized I didn't have a lot of these, which is my best bait, in my opinion. It's probably the one I've sold the most of. Oh, somebody's beeping me. Okay, that's all of the fins. Now, open this back up. And what I'm going to do is make sure to hit just a little bit on the tail and a little bit up at the head. And I just have to go over the fins with some black, but before I do that, I've got to get the orange out of the airbrush anyhow, so may as well fire it around the basement. It is starting to dry up a little bit. But noises over there. Scary stuff, man. Scary stuff. Nightmare fuel. Old house creaking and squeaking. Oh. Whew. Just the air exchanger kicking on. That's it for the orange. So this is another neon orange, which is great because it shows up under black light. So your UV light really makes the orange pop. Never knew that until I was clear coating stuff. And with the Illuma Light UV, I don't need that blow dryer on my lap no more. So I'm going to get all that out of there. I had some black mixed up here yet. Now, with the finer stuff, I do the same as when I'm cleaning the black out of the brush. Just make sure to get that last bit of color out. I didn't have a lot of black left over, which is kind of nice. Oh, that's way too fast. I'll slack her back a bit. Still too much. That'll do. I know I finished off on this side because I didn't rebend my... Oh, we're going without music now. The laptop said goodnight. So this here, all I'm doing is I'm just going to try and trace very, very thinly around the edge of that. Just to give that fin a little bit of an outline. Just a little black shadowing. I don't go all the way around it. I usually just hit the bottom. Now, you got to be pretty careful with the black because a little bit of black goes a long way. Oh, almost did that backwards. That would have been cute. Did you build your bait holders? No, these are actually called helping hands. So get them on Amazon or Wish or whatever. They're all the same. So they're, I don't know, $15 or whatever. Really, really makes things a lot slicker to work with. There are some people do build their own. I really like these because they swivel and pivot and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Little highlights on the fins. Oh no. Because usually when things start coming apart, right when you're almost done, something falls on the floor and makes you swear. And people go, hey, nice language, toilet mouth. So I do get accused of that enough. I'm not doing it today. That's the last little bit on these ones. Oh. Same as the orange. You want to make sure that this is super duper dry in between coats, like when you're flipping sides, because that black now is going to be up against the lighter colors. And when you're almost done, it's a good way to get frustrated, is to do what I typically do, just make it messy. So after this basically only needs the old signature. I do put my name on all my baits with a pen, usually a gold paint pen or a silver paint pen, because there are people out there that take credit for other people's work. I have a friend, he actually had that happen to him. One of the bait shops in town he walked into, and his bait was sitting there looking him in the eye. And he asked the owner of the shop, which is a stand-up guy, awesome dude, Billy Bob's in North Bay. If you're looking for baits and you're in North Bay, Billy Bob is the man. Oh, I had one left. Should be enough paint in there. I heard the phone ring, so that's my dad. Hey, what are you doing today? Hiding in the basement. Hiding in the basement from you. He doesn't watch this, so I can talk shit about him if I want. If not, good thing he doesn't watch, because stopped spraying. It stopped spraying. This is usually what happens when you're almost done, though, as I was saying earlier. Oh, plugged. All right, gotta start that over. Get that out of there. Get out of there. There, got some stuff coming out now. I got a little drip of black left. Oh, might need a little drip more than that. Oh. So what are you guys doing today besides just watching goofballs on YouTube? Anybody got any awesome plans? Because the rain here has canceled all mine. Oh, and I opened that up again. Man, gotta squirt that on something. That'll do. Worked. That's that portion of the mess. I'm going to unplug this air brush. Oh no, do I clean it first? Yeah, I clean it first. Then I'm going to unplug it, because if not, the compressor will come on. Do I have any wax in my ears? There we go. How you can tell you're getting to be an old man is when you grunt and groan every time you're doing stuff. Clean that all up. Okay, paint pen. Where'd I put you? What's this one? That one is a thick tip. I don't need that one. What's this one? A fine tip. A fine tip. Never kiss a chicken on the lips. That there is a fine tip. Okay. So all my baits are called Gettenany. Well, the channel kind of makes sense, right? So you guys won't see me sign it, but I'm going to. There. Gettenany. So that nice. These are awesome, by the way. These are the name chrome markers. They work awesome. I really like how they paint, and when you're doing other things on top of them, they don't smear. They kind of stay exactly where you put them, which is awesome. Not all pens do that. Actually, the worst one for moving around is a Sharpie. Because I will show that later when I do my dragonfly glaze. I paint a dragonfly glaze all over this, and it makes the black go almost purple, which makes it kind of, I think I'm probably the only guy that does it. Well, not now that I told everybody what I do, but However, you can do that if you want. I'm live. Of course I'm live. I've been live for 2 hours now. I'm going to be not live. Well, I'm going to be live, but not going live soon. I just got to sign these. And signed, sealed, and soon to be delivered. So there's that. Now I need to find my dragonfly glaze, the stuff I've been hyping up. Dragonfly glaze. It's a full cart. Shit's awesome. Now I got to find a brush that's going to work. What's that one? No, this guy here. What's this one? It's stiff. Oh, it's perfect. But I do want to make sure that there's absolutely no water on this brush. It's empty. I'm going to flip it. Oh, I got lots. Nice. Nice. This here looks like shit while you're doing it, but when it dries, it does. Oh, I got a little popper. It does a really, makes it nice and purpley. See the glitter in that? That's what the dragonfly glaze does to it. Man, so pretty. Little bit goes a long way too. You just need a little bit of a smear of it. I try not to put any on the, well, try to get it out of the eyes too, but I don't put any on the fins. Sorry about the finger, but the fins or the belly, because it's already got a metallic pearl on the bottom. Holy God, that was a hard word to spit out. But if you go over top of it, who cares? Most people don't notice. The only person that ever notices is me, and drives me crazy. But most people go, "Oh my God, that's perfect." And I go, "Yeah, but look at that." There. As I said, a little bit of this goes a long way, so don't have to do too much to it. Again, guys, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. It's really helps the watch time, because I need the watch hours. So the easiest way to do it, best way to do it, and build an audience with you guys is to do lives. You get to meet people all over the world. It's great. The farthest today was Indiana that mentioned anything. Usually I tend to ask, where are you from? Who's the farthest person from me? I don't know, my microphone's even still on. Yeah, it is. Cool. There, everything is glazed up. That's that part. And for the final piece of the puzzle, a little bit of super glue. And we're going to go with some gold eyes. Same thing I like to do is flip them all the same direction. I'll turn them all sideways. That'll make it nice and easy. Look at this. Look how smart I am. Man, I'm getting smart in my old age. Oklahoma. Nice. Oklahoma. The only thing I know about Oklahoma is there's a guy on Instagram. He's like the Okie guy. It's all tornado stuff. You guys are in a tornado belt or something? Where I am is a snow belt, but I guess I'd rather shovel snow than shovel tornadoes. I usually have a little knife that works good for this. Hey, I got little tweezers. Let's try those. Little tweezers. Huh. Usually find those things way too late, like I did. If you don't super glue these eyes on, what happens is they kind of go around the side of their head as the clear coat's turning. I've had that happen a couple of times. Then you have a mutant fish with an eyeball way up here someplace. That looks cute, by the way. Like, where is that from? Chernobyl? Yep. That's one side. Other side. That's going to fall over, spin it around. Last eyeball. Yes. This super glue is like everything else in my life. When you need a little bit, a lot comes out. When you need a lot, nothing comes out. Ah! That eyeball's going for a run. Get on there. Got scared for a second. There we go. Now I'll show you what we got here. We got 4 of these. So this is my perch pattern. It's got the dragonfly glaze on it, a gold eye, the old Gettenany on the top, white pearl belly, and that's it. So I got 4 of those done. All they need is clear coat. It takes quite a while for the clear coat to cure. It takes about 6 hours for it to get hard enough for me to put a second coat on. I like to do 3 light coats on these. If you go too heavy on it, they get all ugly, and I do enough ugly stuff. So I'm going to let this dry because that dragonfly glaze is wet for a while. I'm going to check the mold I made earlier. I'll come back on here tonight. While those are turning, we'll try doing some casting because I'm making some little baits. I made 2 molds this morning. If you missed that, pop back in later on today, like this evening. We'll try this evening. And thanks for watching, guys. I have to go get some breakfast. Got a little bit growling. Thanks for watching. It means a lot. See you later. See you tonight, maybe. Ciao.